If there's a spider in the house, you kill it or set it free or leave it alone.
Depends on what kind of spider.
If
it's so, there are those what I call house spiders are very slight. Like every part of their body is very like thin and tiny and wispy. Even they'll just be in a corner somewhere. I'll leave those. Like if there was one in the bottom behind my PC desk right now, I'd leave it there to like guard the place from mosquitoes and such. Wolf spiders is what we have down here. They run around. They don't make webs. They're like pouncing predators, and they get pretty big. I don't want to exaggerate, but like they get big enough that you're intimidated. You're like, I gotta take you out.
Oh, way bigger.
Yeah. Way bigger.
I leave wolf spider. I'm on the other. To me, a wolf spider is the perfect like roommate. We name them Henry, every one of them, and I see it, and I'm like, you don't make a web, so you don't make my house look unmaintained, and you eat cockroaches and all the other things I don't want in the house. When I see a wolf spider, I leave it alone, and I might even shoo it away so my wife doesn't discover it.
I kill it as fast as I can, and I prioritize its death over everything else I was doing that night. Like I will tear a room apart to make you die. I can't stand for you to coexist with me if I know. I was on the couch one night. I've had them crawl over me twice. Spiders. Like once I was shirtless in bed, one crawled over me. I like tried to smack it, but instead I like flicked it away. I tore the whole bedroom apart before I found it. Like I was going to go to a hotel that night. Like because it was a big boy.
There was nearly a fire.
I was spraying so much poison that eventually, like, he got a contact high, and I found him crawling out from under like a piece of furniture that I had.
Meanwhile, your entire room just poison.
Poison.
He killed his food source first,
and then like maybe a month or two ago, I was on the couch and I looked, and there's like one here, like fucking crawling on me.
Wolf spider, really?
A big fucking spider, and I go to smush it, and I lose it. I can't find it. I've got like a blanket and a pillow, and I've got like my like shit, my phone's on like another pillow. Like I've got my whole little, and there's dogs all over me. This is how I exist on the couch. And like, I have to tear all that apart. My whole couch is a big U-shaped sectional, like three quarters of a square. And I'm completely disassembling it. All the cushions are out. We had to find that motherfucker.
Can you change your couch into a square?
I don't think it'll go completely into a square, no.
Yeah,
but it will.
Have an L
it'll get. It gets much deeper though. Like it can be one. It could be a line that's just deep enough to sit down on, or it can be a shorter, or it can be like a U that's very deep. Like it could be 2 cushions deep, so that you can make like a giant bed out of it. I love my couch. I think it's the perfect design. It wasn't like super expensive. I don't think I got a great one, but just the type of couch where that you can rearrange all the corners and stuff and make, because I redesign it maybe every 3 or 4 months and like try something new. And you know, we got 4 fucking dogs. So when there's 2 people and 4 dogs on a couch, you need a big fucking couch. I've been considering getting one of those Colorado king beds, one of those gigantic kings that's like extra wide.
I don't know the difference. I know there's like
Alaskan
Alaska.
King. Yeah, that was the biggest one.
Isn't that one with an M? Is it a Wyoming? There's a Wyoming, I think.
Yeah. And they some of them get wider and some of them get wider and longer. But yeah, you can get some truly gargantuan.
California King's not much bigger. People think, oh, California King, holy smokes. No, it's actually it's bigger, but it's smaller in one dimension and bigger
narrower.
in the other.
And so it's like,
is that what it is? It's just longer.
Yeah, it's stupid. California King's thank you. That's what we need.
We are.
Yeah, Alaskan King's the one you want if you want the biggest bed.
So if you look at King 76 by 80, California King 72 smaller by 84 bigger. It's bigger in general, but it's pretty close.
I didn't need California King's for tall people, like clearly.
Well, my argument for California King, we don't have one, but it's you could have dogs at the foot.
Sure.
That family bed, like fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's uncle.
Yeah. Everybody's just piled into that gigantic fucking bed.
Wait, you're talking about spiders.
I've never heard of some of these. Alberta King? Family bed.
You ever found like a legit dangerous spider in your house, Kyle?
Black widows we have down here. I don't know what brown recluse look like. It's possible that I've seen brown recluse.
So unremarkable.
I just can't identify them. I also can't identify snakes. Like people are like, that's a water moccasin. I'm like, those are kind of. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I'm with you. I know the brown recluse body shape. So I kill every unfortunate spider who's shaped like a brown recluse.
Yeah.
And I know black widows, which are pretty rare, but I've seen
Yeah,
them.
they're easy.
It's very easy to spot a black widow. We have so many brown recluse here in Missouri. The whole Midwest is just rife with them.
Because I'm sure.
And I'll kill them in my basement pretty regularly. And I found a brown
Wolf
spider.
spiders kill them, don't they?
Wolf spiders do kill them. And so if I see a wolf spider in the unfinished area, it's the only place I've ever seen like a big spider in my house is the unfinished basement area. Nowhere else are they, noticeable. But if I see one that's like a reasonable size, I'm like, all right, I don't like that you're here right now, but you're not going to bother me in my lift. So hopefully you just go away on your own. Yeah. I found one that was like, I have a shooting area with hockey pucks and like a hockey net and sticks and everything that in between sets. Sometimes I'll like shoot some wrist shots at the net. And like this wolf spider was every bit as large as a hockey puck. It was fucking absurd.
That's really big.
And I crushed it with a hockey stick because I saw it in my head. I was like, I can't abide this. Like this can't be in my home.
Is there a chance it was a tarantula? Because they get that size.
I don't think I would be a tarantula there, but I when I crushed it with the blade of a hockey stick, it was like Looney Tunes. Like it wasn't entirely covered by the blade. Like you could see the legs out the sides. It made an audible crunch, like it had bones. Like it was not.
I did not have bones.
It sounded like it had bones.
They don't have bones.
No, they don't have bones.
Hydraulics.
Exoskeleton, but it sounded like he had bones. That's how big this fucker was. And after I killed him, I did like feel a little like maybe I should have left that guy alive. He's clearly like the most successful hunter in the history of my basement. And that was probably a year ago. And there hasn't been an influx of bugs. So maybe he was
fuck that.
As well.
You ever see Arachnophobia, the film?
No.
You're muted, Kyle. I don't know why, but it happened. Art, do you kill spiders in the house or do you set them free or what?
I'll kill them, but I don't really see that many spiders in my house. I'm pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
What state are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
If it's any other kind, if it's a spider that's even vaguely shaped like a brown recluse, I just kill it. Like every single time. That's I bet I err like a little too aggressive with that sometimes. Like I'll see, but also it's like you'll see like a little black house spider and it's like, well, you're in the corner of my living room now and you've just made a little web here. Like I don't want a fucking spider web in my house. I want to kill you and then I'm going to use a paper towel and I'm going to grab that and then I'm going to take a Clorox wipe and I'm going to clean where you were.
Spiders are the king of spiders. They don't hurt people except apparently
they can bite you,
Zach
but
in
they
the
don't
leg
want to.
And made his leg hairless. Okay.
They can bite you, but like they don't want to. Like they don't want to. It's like a brown recluse. Frankly, like brown recluses don't want to be around you. They will do everything they can to avoid.
I don't care what they fucking want, Taylor. Haven't you heard the horror stories about them biting people in the penis and their penis rotting
pictures?
off?
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I was convinced I was bitten by a brown recluse like 3 years ago now because I was sitting on my couch middle of the night. Not middle of the night, probably 10 p.m. I'm watching TV and I have this like sharp, like I just got a shot in my right forearm and I feel like a little skittering and I go, whoa, and I brushed it off. And like I could feel the knuckles of my left hand connect with something and push it off my arm. And I just watched it for like the next 2 hours and it was like progressing the same way that a brown recluse bite is supposed to. And
So did you do anything?
No.
You didn't make any good medical to do. Like I watched it for 2 hours ago, worse and worse. So went to bed.
That is exactly what I did. I'm like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep an eye on it. And then we're going to go to bed. And I woke up and it was like still
America needs free healthcare. Yeah, people are making decisions based on money.
I was literally like, I'm going to go spend money on a maybe spider bite to get bullied.
It's also the convenience. Man, it's like, I know what a hassle it's going to be to go.
Yeah.
Like first of all, I don't know where to go. I'm going to have to make calls and inquiries and then I'm going to show up somewhere. Emergency care sucks. If you go to one of those places, like they're triage. It's so. Yeah,
I do have a tip I wish I knew. If you're a parent, find out which hospitals near you are good for kids and just know it. Because you might be surprised to learn how many hospitals are not equipped for pediatrics and how much shit needs pediatrics. Like if there's any anesthesia involved, any medicine, any whatever, they just send you somewhere else. So know in advance which hospitals do kids. They don't all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, but Arachnophobia, excellent movie from the 80s. Jeff Daniels, small town. He's moving in. He's replacing the town doctor. And long story short, a spider from South America that was in this isolated ecosystem down in one of those crazy sinkholes ends up in the sleepy town via like a casket. It gets imported in someone's casket, and it mates with a common house spider. And so all these little common house spiders are now instant deadly. And so the movie is lots of spiders creeping through people's houses, and they're unaware. And it's very scary, or at least it always was to me. It's a fun movie. John Goodman is the comic relief. He shows up as he's an exterminator, and he's wearing like he looks like a Ghostbuster when he shows up to fight bugs. And the spider is like big, and it's not just big. It's like this big, like pie plate big, and it's fighting Jeff Daniels at the end, who has a nail gun and a can of spray paint and a lighter, and he's fighting the spider down in a basement. But there's like bookshelves falling on Jeff Daniels, putting him at a disadvantage, obviously, to a spider. But the spider can like leap and like lurch at him, and it's deadly if it bites him. It's a fun movie. It's really good. Arachnophobia. It's on Plex now.
You ever wonder like how much humans were getting like seriously fucked up by spiders and snakes back in the day?
That's why we have that fear.
All have this fear of it. Like, so even when you talk to someone who's like, oh, I'm not afraid of spiders, or I'm not afraid of snakes at all. It's like,
yeah, there's one on your shoulder right now.
Still steer clear of them most of the time. Like there is, at some point in history, like we were getting owned by just scary bugs biting us in our sleep in the woods or some shit. It's awful.
What else are we unnecessarily scared of? Because there's something we're more afraid of than we should be. Thunder.
I'm so
when
afraid
you think
of
about like the base ones, ocean water. Well, I mean, that almost makes sense. Like there's stuff in there you don't know. Surely a lot of ancestors died trying to explore.
Saw a Reddit post. This guy, he's on a cargo vessel, and he's like, it's a rite of passage to like hop off when we pass the Marianas Trench and take a swim, because you're, all that ocean water below you. It's the deepest point in the ocean.
29,000 feet. Does that sound right?
It's crazy. Yeah,
I think it's
deeper than Everest is tall.
Yeah,
which I think is 32. I don't know.
So it's but they'll hop off and swim, and I know like logically, it's silly to be more afraid of that than it's like falling, right? Like call it 200 feet is unsurvivable. Maybe 100 is. Sometimes you see weird shit, but like 200 feet, you're dead. What's the difference between 200 and 500? A little more fun.
Yeah, a little more time for regrets.
Another second and a half of fall time or something is the real answer. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'd be way more afraid on top of that Mumbai Tower than I would on top of like Acrophobia, the ride in Atlanta here. Like that's 200, 250 or so. It's scary up there. But when I saw Tom Cruise on top of that tower, I was like, I'm a little scared in my house. like I know you did that last week, and I'm scared for you now. You see Will Smith duplicate it and like he's all harnessed up and strapped in, and he's sitting down. Tom Cruise does it. He's just up there raw dogging it, standing. Tom Cruise, look, I hate Tom Cruise the man, but I love Tom Cruise the performer and the celebrity. He is a bad motherfucker. That dude's like 5'4" or something, and he owns it. He's the same way. Look, Arnold Schwarzenegger has this great story. He's like doesn't speak English, has a stupid fucking accent, gap in his teeth, big muscle bound goober, stupid, clearly can't act. He became the highest paid actor in Hollywood and the governor of the fucking state. Married a Kennedy. All right. Holy fucking shit. But then when you look over here at
Tom Cruise,
I mean, he's good looking and he can talk, but damn, he's so short. But what he modeled himself into, he didn't become some Woody Allen type oy vey character. He became the badass of badasses. He plays Jack Reacher in 2 movies. There's a scene where a guy's like 5 guys are challenging him to a street fight outside a bar, and he's like, just remember, after this is over, you wanted this. And then he proceeds to like cripple 5 men in the street.
I know exactly. I do the line.
Like he's bending kneecaps backwards, and like elbows are popping out. Dicks are getting torn from scrotums. Like he ruins 5 men with his bare hands.
Kyle, you've heard the Matt Damon story about his conversation with Tom Cruise, right?
No, tell me.
So Tom Cruise does a stunt. I think it's the one where he's on the outside of a skyscraper running along the windows. And but he's like strapped in, running along the windows, doing his thing. All right, cool.
I know exactly. Yeah.
So Matt Damon is like, dude, you really did that? And he's like, yeah. He's like, how did that come about? And Tom's like, So I had this planned out for years. Years I've been wanting to run along the side of a skyscraper. So I get with my safety guy and we say, how are we going to make this happen? The safety guy says, you can't do it. So I fire the safety guy. And the story carries on.
He's like, I hired our new safety guy and I asked him, how am I going to do this? And he said, well, you're going to need a strong rope.
Yeah, that's about how the story goes.